So just wanted to drop a quick follow-up to the video that we put out the other day, the Warrior Farmer. I mean, I appreciate that everybody kept the comments civil. I know that this is a bit of a stretch of belief, to go from what you knew to suddenly jumping into these three-star strategies, not only in Clan Wars but now out in farming. I mean, I realize that it's a lot to ask, but I offer this as kind of a peek into the future of where you could be taking this. Because I mean, I too fought with that question of, what is the fastest way for me to, to collect X, and you absolutely can do Barch if you're, like barching for those 1-star wins up in champs for the league bonuses. But personally, to me, I mean that it's. Yes, it requires a little bit of strategy. It is a little bit faster than some of the other strategies that I'm showing you. But in the same vein, you want to make sure that you have a diverse attack portfolio, so that you can switch out a Barch when you get sick of doing that and do something else, and just kind of keep the game fresh. It's really easy to get stuck in a rut, and then who knows what Supercell is going to do somewhere down the line. To further nerf Barch, maybe they'll raise the cost of barbarians and archers even more. Who knows? So anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at a bunch of different replays. I've read the comments, and I see that folks are looking for TH8 replays, and I can go into some basics there with the Giants, just as a proof of concept, so you understand how to target certain bases, how to execute those dives into the core, things like that. And then we'll see if that's helpful for anyone. But for this one, we're going to be focusing on some high-level attacks. Again, I don't want to fault these guys for the work that they've put into their bases and into their heroes. I mean, these guys have been slaving away over their heroes for the past 6 months, and this is the reward that you get for investing in your heroes for all that time. So yeah, anyway, we're going to look at some replays, and if you have any questions or comments, just leave them in the box below. All right, so next attack we're going to look at, this is from one of our lower Town Hall lines. This is coming in from Cup of Squirrel, again, one of our newer members and actually newest elders. He's proven to be one of our better tacticians, and he just understands how a lot of these things work. Now, as far as sequence goes, one of the things that you want to pay attention to is how you get the AQ moving in the direction that you want her to go in, and that's what this wizard is doing up on the top hand side there. He wanted to make sure that she starts heading south, and the only way to do that is to ensure that she has no buildings to attract her in that move up to the north. Now, that queen is coming up against a little bit of DPS pressure, and he does deploy his phase. He's only walking in there with a level 12 AQ, but the things I've seen him do with these AQs is nothing short of phenomenal. Now, he does split up his healers, so he's got, I believe, 4 healers on the AQ and 4 healers on a level 10 BK. The BK went in there to do a swap with the AQ, and he is going up against a defensively maxed Town Hall 9 base. So pretty impressive there with the base selection. Wasn't able to 3-star the base, but again, props for understanding the how these planning considerations play into different types of attacks. He could have kept all 8 of his healers on the AQ, but he decided to sick them on the BK to ensure that he had a little bit of longevity, to go in and take out a few of those trash buildings. Now, the Giants are still kind of going gangbuster in the core. You have options with these AQ healer based walks. But you do need a way for whatever troops you have to make it through the different pockets of the base. So if you're bringing things like Giants or Valks, make sure that you're bringing in a healthy number of jumps and heals to keep them up as they're moving through the base. Not sure what he was targeting here. Oh, he was targeting the Dark Elixir, and unfortunately there are 2 gigantic DE pumps that are full, on the outside. That's still holding about 2,000 worth of DE, so he's got to go in and get those. Plus, with the new changes in the patch, you have some resources in the Town Hall, so you want to make sure that you don't neglect those. But he did have 1 wizard left, so he was able to take down one of those DE storages. Was not able to 3-star the base, but didn't exactly have the right composition to 3-star a base like this. He probably would have needed hogs to go in and jump those walls. But a great example of what you can do with a level 12 AQ and a level 10 BK. But maxed out healers and everything else. So, again, points for trying. Like we're all trying to figure out the best way through this loot drought. And the worst thing that you can say is just throw up your hands and say, I can't farm. And in this particular case, what CoC did was he took his knowledge of 3-star attacks in Clan Wars and was able to apply it to regular matchmaking, which is kind of the new norm now. So great job there. She's going into cleanup mode. I don't think she's going to be able to hit anything else from here on out, so just speed that up to the end and see what the final tally was. He was able to walk out of here. Well, okay, not a huge haul, but he was going after the Dark Elixir, and he managed to get a lot of that. So great job there, CoC. Okay, next attack we're going to be looking at, this is coming in from Nomis. He's, again, one of our lower Town Hall 9s, a newer Town Hall 9. He's coming in with a level 25 AQ and 4 healers, 18 hogs, 6 wizards, couple of blocker giants. The giants are very handy for doing things like distracting point defenses so that hogs can sneak up on them. But again, this is a great target for this style of attack. The air defenses are on the exterior of the base and easily accessible by the AQ. There aren't too many overlapping point defenses, so she's more than she's got more than enough healer support to go in and wipe out whatever is in the perimeter of that base. And again, with these styles of attacks, you're looking at relieving a base of almost 20% of its percentage before ever dropping a single offensive troop. And there's not a lot that can when against the right bases. There's not a lot that these bases can do to stop this kind of persistent attack, especially with the healer supported AQ. And these are always a lot of fun to watch, to see how they work out. Now, in this particular case, he's decided to do his core jump in from the northwest, and once he's got those point defenses distracted with the golems, there's only well, with the exception of that north golem, which is running into a little bit of trouble, the south golem's only got 1 defense on him, and then the AQ is still stripping the entire perimeter of defenses. But once he gets that first break into the core, he's got that jump down to ensure that the BK has an easy path into the AQ. This is one of those steps that we teach in the academy, is how to go in, grab that CC, how to go in and disable the enemy archer queen. These are all considerations that you have to make. And again, this is the training that they went through. They do this almost instinctually, so that when they see a base, one of the things they're looking for: where are the perimeter defenses, where is the AQ, what can I distract with the giant, where are my hogs going to jump in, where is my jump in point to the core, all kinds of things like these are all the things that they've just learned instinctually how to do in the span of 30 seconds. I mean, Clan Wars, we have an entire 24-hour period to study bases, but for people to be able to do this on command in a 30-second span is nothing short of just phenomenal. So it's always a lot of fun to watch new players adopt these styles of attacks. And again, he's only been with us a short time, but he's already learned how to do a lot of these styles of attacks, and he's applying these tactics to the farming scene now and going after bases in regular matchmaking. So just fantastic job with that 30-second scout. Had a little bit of trouble with the spell usage and didn't end up with as many hogs as you normally would, but again, a great example of what you could do when you apply 3-star strategies in regular matchmaking. So great job there. Okay, so next replay we're going to be looking at, this is coming in from Flipped Cracker, and he's another new member here. So he is in Masters 2, hitting somebody in Crystal 1. And this was another AQ walk. Now, AQ walks are always tricky when you start from the corner, and this is one of the things that you actually learn in Reddit Force Academy, is that you want to try to bias her deployment spot either north or south, but never directly west or east, because the direction that she moves in can be so unpredictable depending on the order that she takes buildings down in, or if there's a Tesla or something on the outside. Generally speaking, you want to make sure that let's see. Oh, looks like that AQ's running into trouble. Great example of the use of a rage there to get her back up to full, give her a temporary damage boost to take out some of the defending the defending point defenses. It's a very, very good use of that rage. You can also use that for taking out the defending BK. You can use that for taking out the defending CC. Whatever comes to mind. Now, in this particular case, he chose a base where the ADs were buried a little deeper in, and I could have told you right from the bat that this is probably not a good candidate for these styles of attacks. But regardless of that, I mean, if you look at the percentage now, better than 20% of the base is already down before he's even started dropping any of his defensive troops. So that's one side of the base that won't be generating any defensive DPS against the coring team, and that's always a good thing. That also leaves a very nice train or a very nice thread of point defenses that the defense-led troops can use to path into the core of the base. So very good use of shedding one side of all of its defenses and then deploying the rest of his troops against what was remaining. And I mean, wasn't the prettiest raid, but this is essentially the idea with these styles of raids, that you want to use the AQ to clear one side of a base of its defenses, have her walk to meet with the rest of your coring team, have the coring team be responsible for things like taking out the CC, disabling giant bombs wherever you think they might be, and then you'll be relying primarily on your hogs to go in and relieve the base of the rest of its defenses. It's a really fun strategy, and something that we use to pretty devastating effect in a lot of our clan war attacks. And we do have a tendency to include things like Valks, because they're extremely beefy, and they can survive those dives into the core. So that's one of the fun things that we do with a lot of our attacks. But he is able to go in. It wasn't the prettiest, most surgical raid, but again, you only have 30 seconds to do these attacks, and he was able to 3-star the space after just only 30 seconds of planning, and jumping in there. So great job with that. Looking forward to seeing what else you can do. And again, just another application of our 3-star strategies against farming targets. Using stuff that we do. Using compositions that we use in clan wars. So great job there.